Hey everybody, it's the dude here to bring you another video, and I'm sure as you might have noticed by now, this is not a recap, review, and analysis of episode 7. As many of you I'm sure are unaware, I am a full-time college student, taking 15 hours, and this is finals week. I'm also a film major, so more than just the finals for my normal classes, I have a whole short film due next week that I'm filming, tonight. I do not have time to edit a 20-plus minute review, but it will happen, do not worry. Next week, on top of the normally scheduled episode 8 review, you will get an episode 7 review right before it. And then after that, you'll get a comprehensive half-season review. So it's okay. Don't worry. This week, you're getting a breakdown and analysis of the Walking Dead mid-season finale trailer and sneak peek. So the next episode is called Heart Still Beating, which I'm sure at the end of someone's won't be. Starting with these scenes from next week, we open with Rosita looking at a bullet. This has really been what Rosita's story is building to this whole half season. What is she gonna do with this bullet? Is she just gonna walk right up to Negan and shoot him in the head? Well, probably not. Is she going to try to and fail? Well, maybe. I don't think this bullet will be the unfortunate demise of Rosita, but I think it'll be very interesting as to where this bullet makes contact. So much has gone into making this single bullet that I would have to assume it's going to do some good. Next we see a POV shot of someone driving a truck into Alexandria, Negan's men already being there. This is probably Rick and Aaron back from their little supply excursion. Then we got a quick shot of Spencer turning over the goods he got last episode to two of the saviors, one of which is the guy who gave Negan Deanna's camcorder in episode 4. Through this we get a little bit of voiceover from Richard, Ezekiel's right-hand man at the kingdom. He's saying, "I know the saviors and I know what they do. They cannot be trusted." He's talking to Morgan and Morgan's like, "What exactly are you asking?" And Richard looks to the person across from him. We can't really see this person, but based on this blurry jawline, twinkle of an earring, and gray hair, I would say that this is Carol. This seems to be Carol's new house. After the tension between Richard and the Saviors in episode 2, it's understandable that Richard might want to start fighting. It's good to see Morgan and Carol after all this time. I would have to think that this is the episode where they should get pretty much permanently reintegrated into the group. Maybe Rick and Aaron on their way back from their supply journey can run into Richard, Morgan, and Carol doing whatever they're doing, and then they all go to the kingdom. Then we see Negan, Carl, Olivia, and the baby sitting at a big table. Negan is at the head, stoic and shaved. Holy fuck, he got shaved. I'm not sure if he shaved himself or if he had somebody else shave him. It sounds like the thing Negan would do, like have Carl or Olivia shave him. Negan seems to not be talking and just waiting for Rick to get back, keeping everyone in suspense that maybe he's about to do something crazy. Then we see Daryl running through a hallway of the sanctuary with the note in his hand. Ooh, is Daryl gonna get busted? No, probably not. In addition to getting the note, Daryl also got a key and a match. Now the key could just open his door or another door on his way out, but the match is really interesting. Maybe whoever gave it to him set up a trail of gas that, when lit, starts a fire in another room, distracting some of the saviors and giving Daryl a chance to escape. No matter what happens, I think because the last time Daryl tried to do this, he failed, that this time he kind of has to succeed. But what happens when he does succeed? Does he go back to Alexandria? Okay, when he does, what if Negan sees him there? Isn't he gonna be furious? But maybe by the time he does get out, the war has started, and he doesn't have to worry about Negan knowing he's at Alexandria. But at the same time, I still kind of hope that this isn't where Daryl's story is going. For a while now, I've really hoped that Daryl would pretend to switch to Negan's side for pretty much the rest of the season, up until Negan made such a crazy request of him that he just couldn't do it, like killing Rick or Carl. I hope that Daryl's story this half season hasn't just been building to him escaping. Then we see a quick shot of a walker in a boat clawing at someone. This seems to be Rick and Aaron trying to get to where that guy had stored all of his supplies across that little lake. Of course a zombie gets on their boat, and I'm sure Rick's gonna die. Then we see Michonne continuing to point a gun at the redheaded chick, theoretically heading towards the sanctuary. The redheaded chick stops the car and Michonne looks out the window like she's seeing something. Maybe she's seeing the sanctuary, maybe it's something else. The road behind her is pretty green, and I was pretty sure that the area around the sanctuary was very gray and concrete. So maybe the redheaded chick was leading her to another outpost, setting her up. But maybe something else entirely happens and Michonne runs into Rick and Aaron, or runs into Morgan and Carol. Michonne Michonne's trip to the sanctuary is kind of a suicide mission. If Jesus, or whoever released Daryl, is already letting Daryl out, then Michonne has nothing to do. Negan's not there, so she's heading in the wrong direction if she wants to kill him, so I think her story will be going where we don't expect it. We see a very brief shot of Richard sneaking into something. It could be a secret stash of weapons that the kingdom has been keeping, a way to convince Morgan and Carol that maybe it's time to fight. I don't know. Back at Alexandria, Rick and Aaron are standing kind of speechless while the saviors unload the shit they just brought back. It doesn't really look like they've run into Michonne or the kingdom people, so maybe that is all the story Rick's gonna get. Ooh, and then one of the best shots of the trailer, Negan holding Lucille in his jacket and white shirt with blood on his freshly shaven face. Jeffrey D. Morgan looks perfect now that he's shaved. Shaving basically cut 10 years off of him, and now he looks 100% like Negan. I'm glad that they had him with a beard at first, because it gave me something to look forward to. But more importantly, whose blood is that? I mean, I know. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably said it out there, calling it a prediction when it's really just a spoiler. So if you don't know already, enjoy. And lastly, we get a shot of Rick, teary-eyed, similar to the face he had in the season premiere, like, I'm gonna kill you. Well, shit. Is that a reaction to the person that just died? Or is it a reaction to something Negan just said? I think Negan just teased Rick and said that he did something to Carl when in fact he didn't. But a Rick who thinks that Carl is dead is pretty much unstoppable, so what happens after this look, I can't wait for. We got 2 sneak peek scenes for this episode, one between Tara and Olivia. It opens with Olivia crying, and that's mostly what she's been asked to do so far this season. Tara gives her some lemonade for Negan and offers to take over for her, but Olivia's like, I told Rick I would take care of Judith, and that's what I'm gonna do. The scene doesn't really tell us much, even though I am excited for when Tara finally meets Negan face to face. Same goes for when she meets Dwight. She's probably one of the few Alexandrians that Negan actually hasn't met, and when he sees her for the first time, what's his reaction gonna be? Where have you been hiding this whole time? I don't know. The last scene we got is one of Rick and Aaron preparing to get these supplies. Rick's like, you don't have to come if you don't want to, and Aaron's like, I'm gonna pretend you didn't just say that. And he kicks some planks of wood off of that guy's sign to use as paddles. I'm not a big fan of what Rick's doing right now. Not character-wise, he's just been kind of ridden out of the action until he's ready to get put back in. So that's why I hope he's gonna run into Michonne or Carol. Something more interesting needs to happen with this Rick story. As a final prediction to the episode, I think that it's gonna end in a cliffhanger, similar to the way the mid-season finale ended last year, which I know what you're saying, like, no, they had such a bad reaction to that. I think the type of thing that needs to happen in a mid-season finale is a definitive change. Rick needs to lash out. He actually hasn't done that so far, and I think that will cause kind of a second lineup to happen. Though, unlike the first time where we definitively lose 2 members of the cast, I think that this lineup will be interrupted and no one will die. And the war will begin, but not until the mid-season premiere. This episode is 90 minutes, but I find it hard to imagine that they're going to tell that whole story. But if they do, I will be more pleased. I think it's what they're going to do and it makes the most sense, but it's probably not the best decision after all their ratings drop since that cliffhanger. Alright, that's it. Please catch me here next week for a review of Episode 7, Episode 8, and a review of the entire half season. Please tell me what you think is going to happen down in the comments section. Remember to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and watch it again. This has been The Dude. See ya.